Conference boys soccer as two old rivals go head-to-head here tonight. It's the Wayzata Trojans paying a visit here to the Royals. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Sig Lagery. Sig, Wayzata state runner-up a season ago. Quite a bit of that team is back this year. They've had a great start. They hadn't allowed a goal through their first 4 games. Yep. They ended up tying Edina Tuesday night. It was a rugged game. They're going to want to see how they bounce back here against Hopkins tonight. Absolutely.
I mean, look at that record: 23 goals for, 1 against. That's absolutely incredible. If they had a really tough time against Edina, they, as you said, they want to bounce back from that. They know they can play a lot better. They have a solid team coming back from last year, and I think they're going to do well at this game.
Hopkins is a team that's gotten off to a pretty decent start, a 2-1-1 record. They've played a couple pretty good games off the bat. They've got a new head coach in Chris Swenson coming in. They haven't beat Wayzata very often in the last decade, and they're they're definitely fired up to try and change that around here tonight.
Well, you can certainly get that from the coach. He was absolutely confident that we're going to do well against Wayzata. They've had their number for years. Now it's time for them to get a little bit of payback. They've had a pretty good start this season. They've been playing fairly well. They had an unusual game against Creighton-Durham Hall, tying them 5-5 in overtime. I don't know how you do that, but it did happen. So they obviously can score. They need to shore up their defense. They've changed their formation a little bit to account for that. And they will have to adjust, but we'll see how they play on the back four.
Let's take a look at key players to look at in tonight's contest, starting with the visiting Trojans, a guy who had a really nice year last year, an all-state player in the back as a defender. He's gotten involved a little bit in the offense off some set plays this year too. Drew Gallinson is a good one.
Absolutely. Senior defender, has 3 goals and 2 assists. So obviously he's getting involved in the offense in one way or another. Set plays is big for him. That's where he comes in as a big factor.
Pretty big, strong kid back there and does a nice job defensively. And one of the guys he'll have to try and stop, he's a sensation. Sophomore Clarence Way, already 9 goals this season, a couple of hat tricks in a row, and that is hard to do in high school soccer.
Absolutely, and that shows you how dangerous this player can be. Forward, 0 assists, but 9 goals and 2 hat tricks. That's pretty amazing. So yeah, you're going to see the Wayzata team watching him, try to mark up on him to slow him down a little bit. Don't give him the open shot. Don't give him any quality shots.
Dominic Guenas, the Wayzata coach, saying that Clarence is good enough that he's going to generate probably at least 3 good chances every night, and you have to hope that you stop at least a couple of them and can outscore them. Incidentally, as folks on both of these teams know, his brother Patrick plays for Wayzata, but it sounds like he is going to be held out tonight. He got a little bit banged up, and they want to make sure he's healthy for later in the season. So we may not get to see the brother versus brother matchup this first time around anyway for Hopkins Wayzata. Stay tuned. It's the Trojans and the Royals coming at you next on CCX Sports. The girls game coming up later.
What makes your community feel like home? Is it knowing what's happening in your neighborhood, or when people know your name? Connections make us a community. For more than 30 years, Northwest Community Television has connected citizens, neighbors, even sports fans through video. As life gets busier than ever, we will still offer you a connected community experience through CCX Media, so you can stay connected to the place you call home.
Nice warm afternoon here for this Lake Conference soccer battle as the Trojans and Royals get set to get after it. And Sig, it's kind of feeling like school just got started and everything, but we're already about a third of the way through the season for these teams. So the season starts quickly and you get playing right away. And Coach Swenson from Hopkins talked a little bit about that, about some of the things that he wanted to change coming in. You get into games so quickly that you don't really have a whole lot of time. First you pick your team and then you start to work together, and all of a sudden you've got games, and a lot of weeks you have 3 games. So it's kind of incremental progress in terms of changing a few things up in terms of formation and things like that.
Yeah, and you end up doing those changes in the live game. If you're playing Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, that doesn't give you a whole lot of time to do any kind of changes.
Teams getting into more of the heart of the Lake Conference schedule too now. Of course, only a 5-team conference, so you've got still quite a bit of room for non-conference contests as well. But the teams very familiar with each other and with the Edinas and Minnetonkas and Eden Prairies as well. And those are the kind of games you get a little bit jacked up for, I think, when you're playing somebody twice a year, every year. Right. There are other good programs. You've got to bring it in those games.
Absolutely. That's what we were talking about in the pregame with Hopkins trying to paint a target on the backs of the Trojans because they have not been that successful in the last couple of years. And that's kind of a tall order because, as we've seen, Wayzata in the last few years, they've had some excellent teams. And they tend to go deep into the sections and into the state. As you were saying, last year, Wayzata a runner-up in the state championship that we covered.
Yeah, and I know they, definitely graduated some good players, there's no doubt about that. But at the same time, they brought back enough, and, everybody else is graduating some people and stuff too. I mean, I think they'll be every bit as good as they were last year as the season progresses. And it's really looked like it so far, with the slight exception maybe of Tuesday night against Edina, but that's no slouch team that's coming after you pretty good. And Wayzata had a potential goal in overtime that was disallowed too. And Coach said we responded fairly well to their push. He said they really wanted to beat us. They had some seniors that have come up a little bit short against Wayzata a few times, and so they definitely wanted to bring it against them, and they had to be ready for that, and they have to be ready for that tonight as well.
Absolutely.
And I think we're awaiting a third official is the reason why this game hasn't gotten started immediately. And now there it looks like we've got the arrival of our third person on staff here as everybody was just kind of looking around. Figured there was some reason why they weren't going, and that was it looks like. So there's a look at Chris Swenson, the new head coach. As you see, he'd been coaching primarily in club programs and coached with Tonka United and the Minneapolis Kickers, and brought back some memories for me. He was a member of the Osseo teams back in the early 1990s, and I remembered his name from that, and sure enough, same guy. And he's excited to be coaching here with the Royals and getting an opportunity. There's Sam Eklund, the senior keeper for Hopkins. No doubt he'll be in for some tests tonight, but as a keeper, I think you kind of like that. I mean, you don't want those games where not much happens back there, and maybe you don't want to get too many great golden opportunities against you, but you definitely look forward to a challenge of playing against a good team.
Well, you don't want instant stress right away, but you want to get into the game, make some saves, and do some punts, be part of the action. The worst thing you could do for a keeper is just sit back there and watch the game.
And we are underway. Hopkins in white and Wayzata in yellow and blue as the Royals controlling it there. Mitch Levesque giving it over, and Zach Couette. Now the pass coming up the line a little bit. Ferez Boubre, number 33, a French foreign exchange student, is a guy that they said, he's pretty fun to watch. A guy that they're learning a little bit about as the season goes. So going to keep an eye on him, number 33 for Hopkins, along with Weah, who obviously is a supremely talented player. Bouncing back toward the goal line, and see if it's a corner or a throw-in here for, looks like it might be a corner kick coming up. There's a look at Danny Welshon's. Very confident in him coming into the season. He's new because he was sitting behind a very good keeper a year ago in Colin Kubinski, and just kind of had to wait his turn. And in a good program, a big school like that, sometimes that happens. Just because he hasn't played a lot doesn't mean he's not really good. And the guys I talked to with Wayzata before the year, they were all very confident in what he can do. Comes loose out front. There's a shot blocked. Another try at it here, and it deflects in. Well, you talked about early opportunities, and Danny Kelly bangs it home for Wayzata off of a defender, it appeared. First opportunities were blocked. You see the long throw in. All right, there's a shot blocked. Bounces back out. Kelly, it hits a defender and deflects on in. So Kelly and the Trojans strike just a minute 11 in.
Well, it didn't take long to get that going.
Second goal for Kelly, so they generate a chance immediately, and results in an opportunity. I mean, for Hopkins, obviously a little bit of bad luck. I mean, you block the first shot cleanly, and the second one you get a piece of, but that kind of changes direction and makes it an impossible one for Eklund to get to. So, Coach Duenas from Wayzata really talked about, his team having to recognize how valuable those set pieces can be, and then it was, it came against them again in the Edina game the other night, and this time they take advantage and capitalize. And sometimes you forget how important corner kicks or throw-ins from deep in the territory and free kicks as well can be.
Oh, absolutely. Those set plays are usually the ones that set up some type of a score, or at least a quality shot. So if you have a player who's really adept at the throw-ins, that's a weapon.
Royals possessing nicely here, and a good ball ahead there. Bubre got it a little too far out front and knocked ahead by Walter Smith. Coach Swenson saying he wants his guys to really play possession ball, and he said a lot of times we do, but sometimes we fall into the trap of if the other team's playing direct long balls that we kind of start to mimic that a little bit, and we want to really keep their structure, keep their shape coming up the field, and they've been able to do it a couple times here.
Yeah, they're playing a 4-2-3-1. A little variation from what he's had it before, so they're trying this formation, brand new tonight.
Gonna have a push in the back called there on Clarence Weah. He tried to back off and make it look okay, but it wasn't. And obviously they know each other a lot, these guys, and with his brother being on the opposing team. Here's Walter Smith driving it to the middle of the field now. Trojans trying to generate some offense here.
Trying to get some quick passes in, and now they bring it back and reload.
Polomarchuk sending it ahead, but that one's broken up. Hopkins, after the steal, got a little bit bunched up, and now they quickly have it taken away. Tried to go ahead there to Golzarian, but that's broken up. Walter Smith stopping it, turns it over to Fisher. And they will bring it back center there to Gallinson. Strong header, though, by Sean Hudwardson, one of the captains for Hopkins, and Bubre not able to control it, so it will be a throw for Kelly and Wayzata. Tries to come up the line, and that one was headed away. And a quick takeaway here. Wayzata, the pass a little behind. Nice step in and steal by Ethan Quee, but they didn't quite connect on that quick pass. Boy, he really read it, though, coming out.
That was a beautiful pickoff, but he didn't have anybody else on his left side.
Intercepted here by the Royals as they work it around. Looking to switch fields here. Hudwardson sends it ahead now, and Gallinson will step in and take it for the Trojans. Punching and long, Golzarian racing after it here.
Still in bounds, or?
Was for the moment, and then
it rolled over.
Got out, so we'll have a goal kick here for Eklund and the Royals.
Todd Anderson down there is the assistant referee making that call. Center referee is Driss Hockham. AR1 is Todd Anderson, and AR2 across the field, Brian Kohler.
Royals looking to work it up their right side, then intercepted as Ethan Fisher stepped in, popped it ahead, but it's going to get back out of play. We'll have a throw here for Hopkins. Wayzata on the board early in this one on a goal by Danny Kelly. Not directly from a throw-in, but it definitely started with that throw-in. The first shot attempt was blocked. It came over to Kelly, and he managed to skip one off a defender and in. Have a tough luck goal for Hopkins, but those count just the same, and that's why you want to put pressure on as much as possible. Turnover forced there. Royals, though, get it right back. Nice work there by Mitch Levesque. Now Bubre hustling after it, but cannot keep it in up that sideline, and Gallinson will take the throw here for Wayzata. Comes over everyone, and Hunwardson up with it, and he will boom it ahead. Long bouncer is going to get out of play, and we will get a throw for Wayzata. And right back out, another throw for the Trojans. More sun and a little warmer probably than what the teams have been used to in the last week or two here, so they'll be keeping an eye on that as you see the Wayzata starters drifting on through here. They've got you know, a couple of injury situations. We said Patrick Weah not expected to play tonight, and they've also got another guy, Stuart Sane, a junior, who is going to play but did not start this evening. Slammed out of there by Hunwardson. It'll be a throw here for Wayzata. There you see the starters for the Royals. Kelly triggers it in. Bilzerian had it knocked away, but not cleanly so. It will be a free kick here for Wayzata. Kelly actually not going to take it now. Looks like he will leave it over for Eric Williams.
About 45 yards out. Hits it into the crowd.
Bounces free in. Crossing pass was knocked down. Wayzata wanted a handball call, but I think ruled incidental as the ball was basically just kicked into his arm there. And then a long shot taken, and Eklund has a good look at that one and makes a relatively easy chest-high save there. You know, it's interesting. Wayzata got that early goal, but I don't think they're really dominating by any means. Hopkins has done, you know, it's basically been a toss-up as far as possession so far.
Yeah, the only difference is Hopkins has not really gone downfield yet, but they're trying to make their way down there. So we have a foul called against Trojans. That should give the Royals an opportunity to make their set play.
Hunwardson will put his left foot to it here, gets it to Clarence Weah, and again, he is super dangerous. 9 goals already this year. Trying to get a step to the outside. Walter Smith trying to play him, and then it's going to be a foul call against Smith and just outside the box. So
wow.
Weah trying to turn the corner. Smith thought he was shoulder to shoulder with him, but got that arm out there a little bit right there.
Yep. As soon as that arm goes in front of the shoulder, then that's when they'll make that call. So the Royals now with a great opportunity just outside the box. Have to move that wall back, but that's there you go. They were lined up a little bit too close. It's supposed to be 12 meters or 10 meters. But now we're set.
And here we go as Weah drills it into the wall. It'll come right back to him, and he kicks it again right into a Wayzata player. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
We have a handball call?
Yeah.
And it's going to be a penalty kick for Hopkins. Handball against the Trojans. Oh, yeah.
Yep, right on the inside of the forearm by the elbow.
Yeah, Smith got his right arm up, and admittedly it was to protect himself more than anything, but enough away from his body that they'll give them the call. Hopkins immediately asked for it, and they indeed get it. So Clarence Weah with a golden opportunity to even things up here as he gets a penalty kick. And he scores it. Welshon's no chance on that one, and Weah converting on the penalty kick that he helped to cause with by driving it into that wall. So
It's got to be on both sides of the field.
10th minute of the game. Weah converts on the penalty kick, and we are evened up at 1 apiece.
No chance whatsoever. Left-footed and right into the inside post. So now we're all even again.
Hopkins first time really into the offensive zone, able to get one, and here's Eklund coming out. He had to tiptoe around. He was almost out of the box there. Ball ahead. Boubray beaten to it though by Kelly, and then knocked ahead for the Royals by Couette. Gallinson and Boubray doing battle up the sideline. It will be Wayzata's throw. Gallinson will bring it in for the Trojans. First to it on the header there was Hunwardson for Hopkins. And now ahead, here comes Clarence Weah trying to play it and go. Kelly plays it out, and Weah is shaken up.
Looks like he turned his foot under the turf and then went down. We have a stoppage as the trainer will come out and take a look at it and see if we can see what happened. He was running full speed right here, and then all of a sudden right there.
Yeah, he looked like he was almost holding up. I think maybe a Wayzata arm got up and got him in the eye or nose.
Okay.
Which, even though that part isn't much fun, I think probably long term you'd rather have that than, you know, really turning an ankle. To see if his arm, see the arm come up right.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, it was a little hard to see. It was Smith. It looked like, you know, brought his arm up, but it didn't. At least at that look, didn't look like it got all the way up to the face, but it must have. I don't know that they called a foul on the play. I don't.
No, I didn't see any foul called. And Clarence will be staying on the field.
It'll be a throw for Hopkins, so they must not have called that foul, and they are allowing him to stay in. And the referee was explaining a little bit to Smith just what it, you know, so let's hope he's all right and good to go, staying out there. So, you know, sometimes when you get hit in the eye, at first it just feels really traumatic, and then it kind of just clears up for you, and that's what we're obviously hoping for here. Quick return pass there off the throw-in. Hopkins working the ball in short space there, and then broken up and knocked ahead for the Trojans. It'll roll out of play, and we get a throw coming here.
Substitutions coming on.
Wayzata will bring a couple off the bench here. Stuart Sane, we talked about him coming in, normally a starter for them, and Benjamin Bader, number 2, also reporting on for the Trojans. Kelly taking that throw in and booted out of there. They'll regroup with Gallinson. Gallinson, see if he'll try and boom one long. Looking to go to Galzarian here. Beaten to it. Good hustle there. Josh Goring racing after it. At least gets a throw in instead of a corner kick, and that, you know, is a little bit better generally, I guess.
Yep. Depends on how good your throw-in is. And as we've seen Gallinson's got a pretty good set of arms here. Gets the ball, that's about as good as a corner kick.
It's off a shoulder, then Sane
skies it.
Nails it well wide of the mark there. Kind of a bad feeling for Eklund, because he came out to try to get to that ball and he didn't get there. And sometimes that can be a lot of trouble if you come after it, and at that point you're really committed. You're out of the goal, and you have to just hope it doesn't land on the foot or even the head of a player up front for the other team, and it didn't. So they dodge a little bit of a bullet there perhaps. Now the interception by Wayzata. Sane spinning back. Sane, nice, yeah, nice look up the left side. Then the second pass, and Eklund's going to get there first before Wagner could. Really nice setup, though, by the Trojans. You kind of put that in the memory bank and say we might see that one again, as Bader took that pass and then tried to get it back for Wagner.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see that one again many times this season.
I remember watching Sane from a year ago, and you know, he came in right away. I mean, obviously he mishit that shot, but really you can see his skill and good vision and everything handling that ball. 17 will be a guy that'll make some difference for Wayzata this season for sure. Yeah, Fisher sending it around here to Kelly. And tried to go up the sideline, but Eric Williams not able to run it down, so a throw for Hopkins. tied up at 1-1, and you know, quite honestly, Hopkins I think has really played right with Wayzata, maybe more than what you might expect based on, you know, last year's meetings and things like that.
Yeah, they're not here to watch. Yeah.
Hunwardson trying to win that ball back. Now it's Hoffman, and that one taken away, but given right back. Boubre serving one into the middle there. Smith corrals it for Wayzata. Way trying to pounce and get a steal there, and they get rid of it quickly. Gallinson stepping up to meet it here. He tries to come long with it. Big battle for the ball. Now the pass gets to Bader. Bader sending it ahead, but Hunwardson read it. Bader will get it right back here for Wayzata. It seems like they've upped their tempo a little bit here. Chip to the middle. Galzarian trapping it down with the left foot, and they're going to be a handball call against Wayzata. So Hopkins will get it back, and obviously that's a call that has led to Hopkins tying the game on a penalty kick. Not exactly the same kind of play, but a handball call led to a penalty kick.
And now it gives them the advantage on offense. Pretty good battle in the midfield. Both teams are trying to get the control. Here's a race.
Thought he might go back to the keeper with it, but instead Hunwardson turning and able to get enough on it to get it to its intended target there, Levesque. Levesque playing that one. They didn't quite have the same pass in mind there, so it'll be a throw for Wayzata as Polomarchuk triggers it in. And quickly they lose it, though, off of Bader. And a nice takeaway there by Williams. Williams chipping it ahead, looking to Wagner, but they're offside.
Yeah, he was parked out there just a little bit too far.
Kind of a dangerous one when you're Hopkins, you know, you're thinking of the keeper there, and he thinks it's offside. He hopes it is.
He hopes it. Yeah,
he hopes that they call it too.
Right, but you keep playing until you hear their whistle.
Yep.
Because again, even if the flag goes up for offside, an offside indicator, the referee may or may not call that depending on the position of the players.
Yeah, and we saw that a little bit in, I believe it was the Tuesday night game at Tino Grace Armstrong, where some guys kind of stopped, and
yep.
I remember hearing one of the coaches say, "Hey, play to the whistle there. You gotta be sure. It's better to keep going a little too long than the other way around. That's for sure." Lost there, and a nice play to come out of there with it by Edson Garcia for Hopkins, and then taken back, or nearly so, by Fisher. Wayzata really marking up tough now. They're not conceding really much of any passes or turns with the ball. Throw in here in Hopkins. Now we get a call going the other way, so Wayzata get a free kick out of it. Sane working upfield here for the Trojans. And he gets the second pass and then playing it to the outside. They're offside again, though, as Wagner coming up that left side.
Boy, they had a nice formation going there. Great passing up the sideline, a return pass to Sane, and then they were off and running, but one got off just a little bit too early. Another set play that I'm sure we're going to see that one also.
Will be a throw coming up here for Wayzata, as that one just kind of bounced harmlessly out of play. Back and forth on the headers here, and then lofted ahead. And it'll be a chance for Welshons to handle it a little bit here for the Trojans. Really has only faced one opportunity. Unfortunately for him, it was a penalty kick by one of the state's best goal scorers. So,
so what are you going to do?
Yeah. Here's Sane with a little bit of space. It closes quickly, but he gets that left-footed pass away. It's deflected and then hammered out by Hundredson. Weah gaining control here. Steps right through two. Clarence Weah on the move, and he will shoot it and misses up high. Had really guys on both right and left, and I think they both are thinking, it might have been open there, but
you can see the Ardens came up from Boubre. He was on the near side, wide open.
Ben Paschke is checked in now for Hopkins. Gallinson stepping up, balling it ahead. Hundredson's been really involved a lot already here tonight for Hopkins. Royals pushing it forward, interrupted. They get it right back and then knocked down again. Levesque will spin and go the other way with it. Boubre getting control here for Hopkins. Weah, a little back heel kick trying to send Boubre, but Welshons easily gets there. Boubre's not real big, but you can see he's shifty.
Yeah, he's very adept and he's quick.
Welshons booming it ahead. Couette the header, and now the Trojans quickly get a turnover. They've really not found it that easy to connect with passes tonight. I mean, they're trying and they're doing the right things, but Hopkins has been there. They've been in good position on most of those opportunities.
Yeah, they're marking up well and they're really covering the passing zones. Now let's see if he gets to Boubre. He does.
Looking ahead, Boubre the shot, and the stop made by Welshons. That time the play set up nicely. Even though the defender saw it coming, he couldn't get there to fully stop it, although he at least cut off part of the field here. You see Gallinson getting back enough that Boubre
cut the angle.
Had to take that shot quick. And don't get me wrong, it was a good shot, but if he had not gotten back to at least put a little pressure on, he could have probably dribbled in even a little closer and maybe put one away. Now a long one the other way. Eklund hoping that ball will bounce to him, and it did. He was out aggressively at the top of the box, but that's those are some painful moments there when you're waiting for that ball to get to you, because obviously you can't come out and play it with the hands.
Yeah, and at the same time you can hear the forwards running down the field.
And it was bouncing high enough that he couldn't play it with the feet either, really. You know, he was kind of stuck in no man's land there. Royals gain possession here. Nice move there by Couette.
I think Levesque was looking for Boubre on the near side. That didn't develop, and we have a foul called against the Royals.
Gallinson will boot it out here. We've ticked under 18 minutes to go in this first half. A tie score here, 1-1. Wayzata getting on the board just over a minute in, and then Hopkins answering on a penalty kick after a handball call against the Trojans. Battle for it in the air. Kelly comes down with it there for Wayzata, and then a strong header by Hundredson. Back to Weah. Ball staying up here. Boubre trying to trap it down and get it to himself, and he does. Nice move there. Now Weah crisscrossing with him. Thought he was held. Play goes on. Now Boubre with it out to the outside. Trying to turn. Wayzata gets back to him.
They're doubling him up.
Forced to the outside, but they keep possession nicely there. Back to Couette. Trying to step through. It was knocked away. And it will be a goal kick here for Wayzata. An impressive
Very nice
look by Hopkins, though.
Very nice offensive setup.
You know, and it doesn't result in a goal or even a great shot, but sometimes a sequence like that's almost more impressive than if you just kick the ball long and chase it, you know.
That means, but because that means you are actually getting your passes, you got your offense talking to each other, seeing where your teammates are and moving the ball. They did a great job that time.
On the flip side too, Wayzata didn't panic when it got down, you know, fairly near their goal. They still play the angles pretty well. They didn't, you know, get out of position too badly there. and ultimately didn't allow a hard shot at Welshon's, and looks like a little injury here as Wayzata's Natan Lidikover a little shaken up just after coming in.
Ooh, wow, big collision there and kind of knocked the wind out of him.
Sent to the front, and there's another nice step up by Hundredson. Sane playing it to the outside. Elzarian trying to cross it. It was blocked, but it will be a throw for Wayzata.
And I'm guessing that Gallinson's going to come in there and do the free throw. Yep.
Getting his footing there on the track, and then get a little run up here. Comes out to Sane. That one is blocked. There's too much traffic there. It'll be another throw. Gallinson had a chance to play in the state tournament in not just soccer but in basketball last year, and he wasn't the only one on the team that had that. Their last year's keeper, Colin Kubinski, was in the state hockey tournament for the Trojans as well, and maybe others too. I hate to leave anybody out, but I just know those two come to mind quickly. That you know, kind of a nice opportunity to play in very competitive sports like that in such a big school. You don't always see it. Here's a chance for Hopkins now. Opportunity on the run, and Welshons has to fight it off. It'll be a corner kick. He's able to get his hands up on the Hoffman attempt. Boy, Wayzata, we just talked about not getting out of position. This time gave up a pretty good chance. Logan Hoffman was out ahead of the field a little bit there. And Welshons couldn't make the catch, but he got his hands up enough to just deflect it out of there.
And sometimes that's the right thing to do, because you don't know what's going to happen behind you. And if you try and catch it, all sorts of weird things can happen.
Yeah, it was a hard enough shot, and he, you know, clearly did try to just deflect it. He realized this is too close. If I try and catch it, it might slip through my fingers, and then it's either in the net or right out front for somebody to pounce on. So, you know, ideally you want to catch it clean if you can, but in that spot, it's better to let it go.
Yep.
13 for the Trojans. Getting the caution.
Throw in here for Hopkins after the teams each substitute, and another throw coming up for the Royals right near those benches out on the far side. Levesque dropping it back. Hayden Salargo. Taken away by Sane. Slams on the brakes here, and looking back over and back in there after being shaken up is Lidikover, and he has it. Golzarian dropping it off to Sane. Sane looking to get a step to the outside here. Now sends it toward the net, and Eklund able to get down low and cover that one. Hard to tell if he wanted to pass or shoot that one, but it was a pretty good opportunity either way.
Nice high punt.
Gallinson a header there, and Lidikover the same. Golzarian trying to trap that one down off his chest. Nice ball to the outside to Sane. Sane looking for Golzarian there, and just didn't quite click.
That would have been interesting if they would have connected on that one.
Yeah, and it looked like it was onside too. I looked down quick, because oftentimes, you know, when you're seeing a player kind of get out ahead, you wonder, and looked like it was going to be clean.
Come the Royals again.
Yeah, Boubre possessing out on the left side, and he'll swing it way across field here. Now Wea gets a step. Boy, they're really converging on him.
They had three guys on in there for a second.
Back pass here, and that one not hit how we wanted to. Goet got it on goal, but he didn't strike it real well there. And this one gets out of play. It'll be a throw for Hopkins. Hopkins, I think, has been impressive here tonight. We talked about it earlier. They're, for a team in Wayzata that's supposed to be right up there with anybody in the state, Hopkins is very much staying right with them.
Yeah, they're not holding back at all.
Sane.
We got a flag here. Improper throw-in.
So it will be Hopkins getting possession.
Here's a good look at number 17, Sane. That's a nice ball control.
Got back here to Josh Goring, and he swings it around to Hunwardson as they come up the middle this time, looking with Couette. Leaving it to the outside, but too far there, as coming forward was Evan Kamschles. You get back and break it up though in Levesque. Dangerous back pass there. And they'll get away with it for the moment, but then Wayzata forces a turnover. Williams trying to put the brakes on and go around. Boubre knocks it out. Throw for Wayzata here as we approach 10 minutes to go in the first half. A 1-1 tie. The Trojans and the Royals. The girls game will also be seen on CCX Sports, and a push call there against the Royals. So free kick here for Wayzata.
Yeah, climbed up on the back.
Hey, 3 coming in.
Williams.
Go.
He's done a nice job in generating chances with set pieces here. He has got 5 assists already this year.
Wayzata players huddled just to the right of the keeper, and here comes the ball in.
Serving it out front, it's loose. Here's a try. Oh, and miss hit. Looks like we might have had an offside call there anyway, huh? As, boy, the last part of this, you know, you're thinking, is this going to be a penalty kick? But it looks like they'd already called things down by that point. Eklund decides to go short with it here, Hunwardson, and will drive it up the right side, but not close to connecting there. And a throw in for Wayzata as Ethan Wagner will come back in for Wayzata. Rosarian will get a break here for the Trojans. Little battle for it there, and Hopkins ends up winning it ultimately there. Fisher knocks it high in the air, and then a nice header by Weah. And let's see, did this hit a defender on the way out? Yes, it did. So throw for Hopkins.
The Royals keep possession. Short throw right to Weah.
Stepping through a couple. Knocked back. And a long attempt knocked down. Now Boubre turns and fires, and then he comes up hobbling, holding the ankle. A one hopper in on goal. And they'll stop the clock here for trainer to come out as Boubre. Watch him as he shoots this.
Well, it lands right on his knee. I think it slipped on the surface and then ended up landing on his knee.
Yeah, it was hard to tell. It almost looked like at first he was holding his ankle. Like maybe that had turned and caused him to take that tumble, but
he's still hobbling on that knee.
I'm surprised. I thought in general in most games, if they have to stop the game and bring the trainer out, that they generally say
take him off.
Need to come out. But we've seen it both ways already.
Yes. You know, if the player says he's okay, then you go ahead and play. Yeah, he's running pretty gingerly on that left leg.
Knocked loose, but Royals there to follow up with Garcia. Now Weah Getting it to Garcia. Tried to go right back. It was intercepted though. Walter Smith read that one and drives it upfield. And they're going to play it back to the keeper. Eklund sending one up. And again, a dangerous back pass here. Not necessarily anything wrong with doing that, but boy, you better be sure it's going to get there.
Right, because if it's not, then you're going to have to pay for it.
Header there from Jack Sonstegard, who's checked in number 21 for Wayzata. Now Sane plays it outside. Lidikover. Nice ball there. Sane then taking the pass from McGugan.
Looking for a move and found an avenue.
Williams playing it to the middle. McGugan turns and shoots with the left foot. Didn't really get all that much on that one. I think he thought he had the element of surprise going there for them a little bit because it kind of looked like he was going to pass, but didn't really get his body squared enough to drive that ball hard. Sane wins that ball, and Williams is shaken up now for Wayzata. He stays up though, and he's going to try and kind of run it off, it looks like. Back for Sane, but he stepped away. I think he thought it was for someone else, and here comes Weah. Weah waiting, and they get a little bunched up. He's obviously got a lot of talent, but he's sometimes a little too eager to do it all on his own.
Yeah, you have to learn to see who else is with you.
And Trojans not able to control. Oh, I guess it will be a goal kick here. I didn't see it get nudged out by the Hopkins player instead. So get a goal kick here for the Trojans.
You see it again?
They battled right down to the corner. I still thought it might have hit the Wayzata player last, but guess not. They were much closer to have a better look there as well. So see Coach Duenas explaining things a little bit there to Lidikover. He was eager to see how his team would respond to that tough Edina game, and I don't know, I would venture to say maybe not especially pleased with the way this first half has gone. As they kind of come out most nights expecting to be the better team, really, and I don't know that they have been so far. It's been pretty even for the most part.
It has been even. That's because the Royals are not. They're not going to sit back and watch and let them play. They're taking the play right to the Trojans.
Hunvardson will take this free kick here for Hopkins. And we've got a referee coming over to talk with Coach Duenas first.
You know, if I were the other coach, I want to ask the referee, what was that conversation about?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get to take time out and talk to the referee.
Header there out of play, and we will get a throw. Yeah, a lot of times if there's something big or you happen to be over on that side of the field, they'll give you a minute or two to, but you're right, to just kind of stop things like that was unusual. Comes out to way out front. Ooh, and he almost was able to trap it down and get a shot away there.
There's been some good battles in the midfield.
Yeah, and Hopkins has certainly held their own in that regard too.
Well, they move quickly, so that's not giving much time for the Trojans to set.
Here's a pass to the middle and broken up there by Salargo, and out of play. We will get a throw for Wayzata, but they came with numbers there. They've actually had a few times where they've been able to work the left side pretty nicely and get something out of it. You see Galzarian here playing that ball nicely out to the outside, and the cross made as they wanted to get, I believe it was Polomarczyk there cutting to the middle. Throw in here by Kelly as Gallinson is out for the time being. Sane's shot knocked down. Now here comes Weah. Knocked away and quickly right onto the foot there, as but the Trojans unable to capitalize on it. Pass back here, Galzarian putting pressure on, and he ends up winning that ball for Wayzata. And his pass was deflected. It'll be a throw for the Trojans. Good work there by Sadra Galzarian.
That's a lot of hustle, and they got a pretty good payoff out of it. Nice move here.
Gallinson's back in. We'll take this throw here for Wayzata.
That was a good close-up of him. Nice. I love that throw.
And they did score their first goal, as we said, not directly off a throw-in, but basically it was started all with
right. It was set up by that throw-in.
Back it comes to Wea. He's going to serve it up long here, and here comes Garcia getting to it and ends up putting a shot on, but didn't have much on it. He was running out of time and space there, and
yeah,
ball had kind of bounced initially, and he just kind of decided I better take what I can get here, and it wasn't much.
Gallinson was right there to cut down the angle again.
Polomarchuk trying to turn the corner there, knocked away from him, and the Royals come up with it. Bubre, and he slips down. And then Sane was tripped up, and there's a stoppage. Will we see a card here? Looks like we might. Bubre, I think, is going to be issued a yellow card here, and he is. Right here, he stepped on his foot. And it was almost like he wasn't recognizing initially that he was being carded there.
I think he was trying to hide.
Yeah.
So who, me?
I think the referee felt there was intent there, because
Yes.
it wasn't really abnormally physical or out of line, but I think he kind of read it as being maybe some intent to do that, so was quick to take the yellow out, and Bubre has to check out. Here's the long free kick. Eklund calls off his defender and is able to make the catch.
Distributes wide, but that's picked off.
Williams stepped in to break it up for Wayzata. And the Royals have to clear it out. Williams gives a little applause there for his team's hustle, and they end up getting the ball back because of it. Kelly getting set to throw it in here as we tick under a minute to play in this first half. Bounces around, and then Sane lifting one way up high and over the top. Hopkins has done a pretty good job of getting, headers on those balls out front. Haven't really allowed much, although obviously the first goal did end up on the foot of a Wayzata player.
Yeah, but they've been bunching up on their defense and getting in there.
Goring sending it ahead there to Gouet. We're trying to get control here late in this first half, and half will come to an end. Our halftime score is the Trojans 1, the Royals 1. We'll have first half highlights and then our second half coming up here on CCX Sports.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
And welcome back here to Hopkins High School, along with Sig Lagry, I'm Jay Wilcox. Lake Conference Boys Soccer, we are evened up at 1 at halftime as we check out our first half highlights here between Wayzata and Hopkins. And Wayzata gets one early. They get a throw in here first shot attempt is blocked. Then it bounces right to Danny Kelly, and it goes off a defender's leg, and Eklund had no chance. So they were on the board quickly, but Hopkins has stayed right with them. Here's a drill that hit the arm of Smith, resulting in a penalty kick, and Clarence Weah no trouble taking advantage of that, getting his 10th goal of the season for the Royals. And he generates one here as defender falls, Boubre getting a shot, but Welshon's not too much trouble on that one. And Wayzata off a free kick, trying to generate something in close, and then we had an offside call there, right? Knocked that one down. So we see the stats, and it reflects how even the play's been.
It certainly does. Trojans having 7 shots, 4 on goal, 4 fouls, and 0 corner kicks. Royals on the other side, 7 shots, 5 shots on goal, 7 fouls, and 1 corner kick. So it's pretty even on the numbers and even on the scoreboard.
Second half of soccer is coming up here on CCX. The girls' game will also be seen coming up later on tonight. Stay with us. More soccer right up.
Most of my family, they never graduated high school or even let alone go to college, so I'm trying to break that barrier. Every day after work, went straight to school, studied hard, and it paid off. I could not have done it alone. I see the future is really bright for me. The high school diploma is just added to the confidence, and now I feel unstoppable.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back here to Hopkins as we get set to begin our second half of play on a beautiful Thursday here at the home of the Royals. Well, we said Wayzata coming off an appearance in the state championship last year, and they are ranked second behind the team that beat them. And then the team that they tied the other day, Edina, was ranked number 3. So though you can see the quality there at the top, Washburn so has a very good side, and you know, a little interesting to see a team from up north, and you don't see them that high in the rankings often. Duluth East must have a pretty good club this year, and see a couple more lake teams, Minnetonka and Eden Prairie, and also in the next bunch, another local team that we're going to be seeing next Tuesday night, Maple Grove Crimson, as they'll take on Centennial. You can watch for that one on the 12th on CCX. So,
and there's my old school, St. Paul Central. And here we are getting ready for the kickoff. Trojans moving from right to left. Was it a counter? Hopkins Royals is going to be coming in from left to right, and we're underway.
They drill it long here and try and get something established into the offensive zone early, but it's going to roll all the way out of play. Adi Bhatti, number 15, in there to start the second half for Wayzata. He had plenty of energy. They thought, let's get him running right away here, and tried to send it long for him, and at least, you know, maybe start things with trying to bottle Hopkins up a little bit. And like I talked about, I mean, you don't go so much by expectations or whatever, but I believe that first half more to Hopkins' liking than to Wayzata's, because it was pretty even. Wayzata, I think, feeling like, you know, this is a team we have generally had good success against, but they respect them and they know they have to come out and play. And there's Eklund having to make a quick stop early on, and bodies everywhere there. Galzarian holding his back a little bit as he gets up. Smith heading it high in the air. Looks like Sonstegard is in there to start this second half for Wayzata, so a lineup change or two for them. Sane as well. Sane made his presence known, and he does get a nice step in and takeaway there, but then it's called for the trip. So free kick here for Hopkins, and I'm sure the Royals coaches, you know, are talking to them. We're not satisfied to be tied here. We're not satisfied to have played a good 40 minutes. We have to come out with every bit as much fire in the second half and see if we can't take it to them.
Yeah, even more.
header there to the middle of the field. Eric Williams will get there first, but Buble chasing him down. Belzarian trying to carry that ball ahead. Now we get a foul call going against Wayzata, trying to win that ball back. I think it was on that guy Body. Royals swinging it over. Nice step in there by Palamarchuk. And then a foul call here as Weah tried to get it back. And the referee telling Weah, okay, I heard you, and no more.
And now he's telling him to move back.
I think as Smith sends it long, his being up there and they're a little too close was kind of his silent protest that he didn't like the call there. And referee realized it too and said, all right, time to move.
I haven't seen a protest yet from a player that has worked against the referee.
Here's Weah, Palamarchuk trying to cut him off, and call will go against Hopkins again. See Weah trying to turn the corner, and then he kind of put the arm out. Maybe a little bit of a quick to go to the ground there was Palamarchuk, but he did draw the call. Now we get a stoppage, and we're going to have a card issued, I think, to Weah here.
Yep.
He's kind of just was not willing to back off, and then Coach Swenson is jumping in. He's probably disappointed a little bit with Weah, but he's also jumping in to protect him and say, you know what, we got to. I don't know that it was anything in particular leading up to this other than possibly talking more than he wanted. And Coach Swenson.
Yeah, he just wasn't following the referee direction, and that doesn't go well with the referee, so that's why he did that. Sending a message that he's the referee, he's in control of the game, not the player.
So free kick here for Wayzata. And Smith will drive it ahead. Belzarian trying to get control here, knocked loose and slammed ahead right up the middle. Gallinson gets to it, lifts it high in the air. Sane trying to gain control but couldn't. Garcia pushes it back upfield, and Smith gonna play it back to his keeper there, Welshons. And then he fails to find a teammate. It bounces into the bench. Throw in Hopkins.
And Weah immediately went to the scores table to wait to go back in.
And I kind of like that from Coach Swenson there. You know, even though he probably knew that Weah was, you know, kind of pushing the envelope a little bit,
right,
but you still stuck up for him, and
yep,
you know, and for his team. Here is Sane to the outside, crosses it, and it bounces away before they could get an attempt. Now back out. Here's a shot, and Eklund the stop on Ethan Fisher's high drive there. Sane showing what he can do here, though. Turned the corner, got away a pretty good pass.
Nice pass right in the center.
But Body unable to do anything with it as it kind of got away from him, trying to chest trap it down there. It was a little bit in between where it was too high to play with the foot and a little too low to head.
Hopkins now on the attack.
Here's Weah gaining control. 4 guys around him, and down he goes, and you get to do battle again there.
Weah again trying to have a conversation with the officials.
They moved the wall back, and it was off of this similar type of thing where Weah banged the ball into the wall twice in a row.
Yep.
That led to the penalty kick as one of the players got his hand up and it hit his arm, and it was a handball, and it was a penalty kick, and they scored. So we'll see if he looks to do the same again. Now, ooh, and nearly snuck that one in. Welshon's ranging over to his right. You see the angle here.
You can see he saw that thing coming around the outside of the wall and responded very nicely to pick that one up.
Yeah, Logan Hoffman was cutting, and it was, I think, more a pass than anything. Now it's offside as Sane comes up with it, but it still nearly snuck in. And Sane disappointed in that one. I think he thought he had stayed onside.
Yeah, he believed he was offside.
Or not offside.
Or not offside, sorry. False negative.
Here come the Trojans again. Quee giving it ahead. Galzarian. Shot knocked down. And it will be a corner kick for Wayzata. They've changed something up a little bit to be able to get some more offense generated when they've moved the ball upfield.
Well, they certainly have the level of energy and effort is much higher than it was in the first half. A little bit deep. That would be a goal kick.
Body trying to get up and get a header there, and he made contact but not able to direct it the way he wanted to there. So Eklund will boot it ahead.
Again, Hopkins doing a terrific job in the midfield. Here's a one-on-one.
And we mishit that one. The defender was closing in.
He ran out of territory and couldn't quite get it there. Here we go. Nice run.
So you got by the first defender and then just didn't play the bounce quite right there.
Oh, then he came up hobbling at the end of that.
Boubre won that ball, and Garcia had it taken away by Eric Williams. Williams will send it long. Race is on here. Galzarian getting free, tips it to the front, and they will score. Sane
got it.
Gets to it first and deflects it in. Eklund had to respect the shooter initially, and a nice heads-up play, an unselfish play to give that ball up here by Galzarian, and it's going to be Sane who ends up getting to it right out front here and finishes it the last yard or so.
He chipped it just past the keeper, and then Sane with the open nets puts it in.
It looks like they're calling it maybe the goal for Galzarian, that the ball had already gone in.
He made, well, let's see, we'll have to take a look at it again. That's a possibility. There's a lot of activity down there.
Yeah, the defender slid at the ball too, and so it might have been, I don't know, it's hard to say. They did announce Galzarian, I think, but that's, no more official than us announcing somebody scoring. So there's a yellow card issued to Wayzata's Eric Williams right there. And you see, things have gotten just a little bit chippier here and there, and so both teams, that wasn't a whole lot, but it's a reaction maybe to what happened before a little bit too.
Yeah, like I said, the message has been sent. So the players have to be wary that this referee is going to call it. It started getting chippy near the end of the first half, then it kind of carried over. Now we're going to see how things settle down.
Sent long up that sideline. Controlled briefly, but then Polomarchuk able to take it away and send it upfield. Body left it for Quee. And it will be a throw for Wayzata. Hopkins felt that it was off a Trojan, but that's not the way the official sees it. So throw coming for Sonstegard. Galzarian's pass broken up there by Couette for Hopkins. We will get a throw for Wayzata. Back pass there, knocked away by Hoffman. Trojans get it right back though. Gallinson serving one. Here's a race for it, and both guys swing and miss. See what this is going to be here. Looks like a goal kick. Center referee looked down to the side because he wasn't positive either. You see, a couple guys had a chance at it, and it was hard to tell if either one of them really made contact or not. And they'll rule a goal kick here. Charlie McAllister will come in for the first time here for Hopkins as his teammate Eklund gets set to take this goal kick. Wayzata now leading it 2-1 after it was tied up at 1-1 for a long time, and into the second half. Trojans, I think, have come out, as Sig said, with more fire, more hustle the second half, and kind of started to take things over a little bit more than what they were able to do in the first.
Now the task for Royals is to keep up with what they were doing in the first half. They were doing a pretty good job in the 50-50s and controlling the center.
An offside call there against Wayzata, so free kick here for Hopkins. Knocked down and onto the foot of Sane. Sane circling back away. Tried to get it there to Cui and then knocked loose. The Royals able to force turnover. Boubraye with it. Looking for Weah. Weah to the outside and not able to connect there with McAllister, the sophomore. So we will get a throw for Wayzata. McAllister looking for Weah now, back for McAllister. Boubraye chipping it ahead to the outside, but McAllister not able to catch up. We get a goal kick here for Wayzata as Hopkins will make another change as Ben Paschke reports back in.
Number 12, Ben Paschke.
Welshons will take this kick here for the Trojans. To the outside, spinning back is Levesque. And they have a little turnover there, and Gulzarian will come back the other way. Looking left side for Ethan Wagner. Wagner able to run it down. Gulzarian is tripped up, and a foul will be called here against Hunwardson. A few yards outside the box.
Yeah, just kept that leg out there a little bit too long for the trip. Wayzata now with the set play from the near side.
Stuart Sane lining it up here for the Trojans as they try and build on a 2-1 lead. Chipping it far post, wanted Gallinson, and the Royals have to knock it out, and it'll be a corner kick on the other side now for Wayzata. Gallinson, we talked about, pretty big and strong, good basketball player too, and you can see why they target him. He's already, as Sig said in the pregame, gotten involved in the offense some, and that's generally where they're going to use him. A guy that can get up. He's about 6'2" or so, I believe, and also, you know, pretty good strength.
Yeah, pretty good upper body strength. That's why he's so good on the throw, and that's from playing those other sports.
Bader checking back in as Sane takes the corner again. Comes over to Wagner. He'll lift it high in front. Sane rushes in, and it's about the third time tonight that Sane has gotten a shot away that's way up top. See, he's the guy who starts it all with a corner kick, and then ultimately comes back to him. Sometimes the D can forget about that guy out there sneaking in, and he thought, hey, I've got a great chance here, but just mishit it.
And the ball was up in the air off the ground when he hit it.
Hopkins turns it over. They're starting to look a little bit rushed or rattled a little bit. They've had more turnovers probably in this first, 15 minutes of this half than they did the whole first half, I believe.
Captain number 8.
And they've also generated some fouls, which also creates problems on the turnover.
See Williams coming back in for Wayzata. He had that yellow card a few moments ago. Gallinson takes the throw here for the Trojans.
Just like a corner kick, isn't it?
The only difficulty with that is that, you lose him as a target player out front. We just talked about in the corners.
Right.
Obviously, he can't throw it to himself, so he's good at both things. Be a throw here for Wayzata as the field has kind of been tilted this way in the second half. Spent a lot more time in the Royals' end than maybe what we saw in the first half. Pass intercepted there near midfield, and the Trojans quickly go to the attack. Gilzarian gets it back. Sadra Gilzarian pushing it to the outside. Gets a shot away, and it was a pretty good one. It looked like he didn't have that much room, but he just kept pushing the ball out and outrunning the defender enough to turn and get away a pretty decent look at that one, and Eklund the save.
Again, he got cut off by the defenders. He had to take what he could see.
Smith steps up to break that one up, knocks it high in the air. Tough spot for the defender. Whoa!
Over the
coming
back.
way over the top there was Bader as the defender stopped, and see if it's going to be just a foul. I thought maybe we might see a card because watch Bader. He pushes him and jumps over him. That I couldn't argue it a whole lot if you'd carded him there.
No, that's not. You use him as a pommel horse.
So free kick it is for Hopkins. Hunwardson driving it upfield. Smith first there with the header, and then back the other way from Coet. Wea flicks it high in the air here. McAllister not able to get anything generated there, and then Sane poked it away. Good recovery though to get it back by Levesque. Here's Levesque to Wea. Turns and sends it over. Gallinson knocked it down. To the outside. Coet battling with Gallinson. Coet comes up with it. Here's his shot. Wow, what a goal there, and we are evened up at 2. Zach Coet with a phenomenal sequence there for the Royals. Wouldn't take no for an answer, and he ties it. He gets the better of that battle, turns, gets an angle, and lets it rip. Ooh, nice goal.
That was a pretty set. Beautiful, right into the near pole. And we're back to even.
Boy, a good example there of, never giving up on a play too, because it looked like he was a little outnumbered there, and maybe they were just gonna have to settle for getting the ball in deep there, and he just went after it hard and won it back. And we've got an injured player there as Wea is down. Might be cramps maybe the way he went down, I think. Yeah, and he's pulling back on those toes.
He was working on his foot earlier during the stoppage. He was down on the ground, pushing up on the toes.
Coach Swenson over to work that. Of course, he's still on the field right now, so we can't really resume until he's able to at least get up here. So another look at how we ended up being tied 2-2, and Zach Coet going to have this one in his highlight reel, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And he's going against an all-stater there in Gallatin, and he quickly won that battle and then just let it rip.
Yeah, he had two quick passes to himself, then turned around and shot it. Excellent play.
That's the type of play that you see guys try and execute a lot, but that rarely happens that cleanly and smoothly. See what Hopkins has coming up. We saw in the rankings, Washburn's a good team. He doesn't exactly get easier coming ahead here. Wow, look at that slate over the next week. But the Royals proving that they belong with a very good Wayzata team here right now, and trying to build some confidence heading into those next tough tests too. See, for Wayzata, they've also got some very good opponents coming up. A non-conference game on Saturday over at Roseville, and then Eden Prairie and Minnetonka coming up. I'm sorry, not at Roseville, against Roseville at home. So Weah's to his feet and trying to walk this off.
And the official says he needs to get off the playing field, get that taken care of.
So a little timeout really for guys on both teams. He looks like he's putting some ice in that sock, just trying to do what he can to get that calf kind of back in working order enough to come back in. Pounded upfield there, and a swing and a miss. Smith chasing it down. He's going to turn to the outside here and drive it upfield. It'll go out of play off of his teammate Bader, but at least they get it out of danger. And throw coming for Hopkins. And Royals were going to make a substitution, but I think they weren't, kind of slow and it was hard to tell for sure if they wanted to sub. So the referee said, no, you got to wait till next time now. Go ahead, heading it ahead there, and now Williams for Wayzata. And it'll go out of play. A throw coming for the Trojans. Sane playing into the outside here for Wagner. Wagner cutting in. Eklund is out. Wagner knocked it away from him. It'll be a corner kick off of the keeper. Eklund did what he had to, I think, there to come out and really cut down the angle, and then ends up, it goes off of him and out of play.
That made the right play.
Wayzata goes quick with the corner kick, but it wasn't exactly on line there. It just goes out of play, and so a little bit of a wasted opportunity perhaps there. They're trying to catch him off guard by going quick.
Just didn't quite work for them.
Logan Hoffman will check back in here for Hopkins as Welshons get set to take this goal kick here for Wayzata. Each team has scored once in each half. We're evened up at 2 goals apiece. This one will roll through and grabbed up here. Eklund will kick it. I think I said Welshons a moment ago. Eklund obviously for Hopkins, booting that one ahead. Smith with the header, and up the sideline they try and keep it in and do so. Drop back here to Fisher. Now he finds Gulzarian. Gulzarian looking for Sane up the middle. And over there to break it up was Hunwardson. Sane played it with his shoulder, trying to play it from his shoulder to his foot, and he was about to get control, but Hunwardson able to read it well. There's a look at Gallinson getting ready to throw it in here for the Trojans. Putting it out front, Hunwardson to it first, and then the follow-up hitter as well. They get it out of danger. And cleared out of play by Fisher, so we'll get a throw here for Hopkins. We talked a little bit earlier about how Wayzata had kind of controlled the second half, but not so much anymore.
No, they got a little bit rattled after that goal. The Royals defense really starting to tighten up here.
Kelly sending one out front. Hunwardson with the header. And that one missed by both guys, and it'll roll back to Eklund. Eklund putting it just beyond midfield, and it will get a throw now for Wayzata. Comes loose, and Ethan Fisher is there, and he'll swing it over right side now to the trailing Kelly. Kelly trying to send one out front. Boubre blocked that one down. And then up the line, it goes out of play. We will get a throw here for Hopkins. John Jacobson making his way into the booth in his shades there and getting ready for our second game. Sane trying to gain control here for Wayzata. Keeps possession and goes to the outside with it for Wagner. Wagner sending one toward the net, but scooped up there by Eklund. Royals regrouping here back to Levesque. And then sent long up the middle. Weah is back in there, and he's giving chase here. He's going to get to it. I'll actually let it roll out because it was played by Wayzata, so we will get a throw here for the Royals. Pushed to the front and grabbed up here by Smith to Sane. Now to Wagner. Seen this a couple times lately here.
Yeah, but he's down there all by his lonesome.
Wagner wins the ball back, puts it out front. Now the follow-up try by Williams sails up and over the top. Wagner didn't give up on that one, got back to it, and he pushed a ball to the front. But Wayzata, the guys that were coming to join him by that point were in a little bit too deep to do, see the kind of just went in between them there.
Yeah, they weren't in a good position to receive that pass, and give credit to the Royal defense for staying at home and making sure they're not going to give up anything easy at this point.
Eklund's boot and deflected ahead. Jacob Rosenblum checking in, and he sends it ahead for Weah. Here comes Weah. Gaining control here. Now he shoots. It was deflected a little by the defender, and Welshon's able to make the save. You wonder, too, with those cramps, if Weah, perhaps if the situation were different, might have kept the ball a little bit longer.
A little longer for a better shot.
Yeah, not that wasn't a decent attempt. Certainly it was, but here's Rosenblum with those green shoes just coming in for Hopkins. Boubre cutting to the front. He shoots, and Welshon's to his knees to make a stop. That one, the coaches talked to us about how this guy from France, Boubre, can do some things, and you see him stepping around quickly. Didn't get a huge amount of steam on that one, but still a dangerous chance. Sane circling back. Looking for Gulzarian, who does a nice job shielding the ball from the defender there. Trying to sneak it through there, and Wagner, it just didn't quite connect. And we get a foul call here going against Wayzata, so free kick right near midfield for Hopkins.
Another opportunity to get that set play going.
Hunwardson will take it. And it'll be headed out of play and a throw in for the Royals. McAllister will trigger it in here for Hopkins, puts it on the foot of Weah. Weah making a move and then takes the shot, but it'll bounce wide. So a goal kick here for Wayzata.
Good look here at number 11, Weah, Clarence Weah.
Interesting development here. We were told that Patrick Weah wasn't likely to play, and it looked like he might be going and getting ready to check in for Wayzata.
He's talking to the coach. He is getting ready to get in. The thinking was that they didn't want to use him in the middle, earlier in the season, and save him for later on in the year when they really need that firepower. But
yeah, he's been banged up a little bit, but now you see a tie game late, and I'm sure he was doing some lobbying too, and so it looks like he is maybe going to check in. And a giveaway there. Quee coming up with it. Elzarian. And that one broken up. Nice step up to break that play up. Elzarian able to win it back though. He's had a strong second half. And that one gets away, and Clarence Weah up with it. Battling his way upfield. Defenders trying to hold him off. And Weah, then the pass taken away. And here's Sane coming to get it. Sane gets it over to Williams. Williams looking ahead now for Wagner. And there is Hudwardson to break it up. Be a throw for Wayzata, and guess who? Patrick Weah coming in for the Trojans.
Number 10, the superstar. We've seen him before, and it's actually a treat to watch him play. He may not be 100%, but he is in the game, and just his presence in the game is enough to make the Hopkins defense perk up.
Sane controlling it here.
Wow, little showmanship.
Here's Weah, back for Sane. And stepping up to meet him, and then the call made there is Paschke, assistant referee, making this call here, as initially they weren't going to call anything.
Arm went up. Gets the call, and now Wayzata with a chance for the set play.
Williams lining it up for this free kick with about 10.5 minutes to go in regulation here, a 2-2 tie. Wayzata hoping to change that. Williams chipping it over to the left side toward Gallinson and Weah, but Hopkins gets there first. And Rosenblum lifting it high in the air up the sideline. It'll be a throw for Wayzata. I think we're late enough in the game now that both teams kind of have the feeling that next goal wins, even though it, obviously isn't for sure, but
it certainly feels that way.
Try to get it over to Wagner, and then that clearer hit another Hopkins player. This kind of wrong spot at the wrong time leads to a turnover. They get it for Weah. He's able to win it back. Then Clarence Weah comes back and gets involved defensively for Hopkins. Chipped ahead, Patrick Weah trying to track it down, and his shot, otherwise at a bench, calling for a foul. They won't get it. High in the air here, battle for it. And it'll be a throw for Hopkins. Royals Royals, I think, were subbing there, and their other teammate didn't realize it and started to throw it in. Sane trying to steal that one. They get a little tangled up, and now the Royals coming ahead with Coed, who had a tying goal here for Hopkins, gets it to Rosenblum. Chipped ahead, looking for Clarence Weah. He waits for the bounce. Weah cutting it to the middle, drops the pass back. And Bray trying to get through there, and down he went, no call. And a good step up the other way by Hunwardson for Hopkins. He'll clear it out, but a throw coming for Wayzata. Another look at this one as Bray cuts to the middle.
Just got caught up in the traffic and the ball poked away.
Wagner lost it, but it comes now right to Patrick Weah, playing it to the outside, looking for Sane. Can he get there? He did, and he'll get a throw in out of it. Nice job to control that ball enough to clear it off the defender. Looks like Sane might be dealing with cramps a little bit now too.
Yeah, he was questionable before the game how much playing time Sane would have.
Gallinson taking the throw in here for Wayzata. Out front it comes, and a strong header there. Bang back out to midfield. Walter Smith traps it down and volleys it ahead. And that one's just going to bounce harmlessly out. It will be a throw for Hopkins. Garcia will come back into the lineup here. Rosenblum gave him a few good minutes there for the Royals, and Hopkins. Here's where you don't, want to take care of the ball in this spot on the field. Don't turn it over and give your opponent a chance to get right into their offense. Played ahead, trying to spring Weah. He blocks that pass, and it results ultimately in a turnover.
And Hopkins has the numbers right now.
Bray dropping it back for Coed, who scored the tying goal here. It's knocked from him, but it'll be a throw for Hopkins. Little subtle things. Weah doing a great job of getting in the passing lane there, blocking that clearing pass. Thrown out front and swatted out of there by Welshons. Trojans kept it alive, but now turned back over. Levesque shooting, that's blocked. Bounces out front, here's Weah. Clarence Weah looking, turns, shoots, and he scores! Snuck it in the corner. He didn't have a whole lot on it, but he put it in a perfect spot, and Hopkins is in front for the first time. Get another look at that left-footed shot. Welshons was sneaking over to cut off the near post, and he's able to get it around him and in.
It's being in the right place at the right time with a very, very impressive play.
So second goal of the night, and 11th on the season. Royals in front 3-2, and now it's going to be a fight to the finish, a race to the finish. Wayzata is going to try and come hard and push some people forward, and Hopkins is going to just try and hold them off. Here's Patrick Weah. Knocked from him and out off of him. It will be a throw for Hopkins. And banged out off of Wayzata. It'll be another throw here for the Royals. Hopkins excited, trying to score what's been for their program, kind of a rare win over Wayzata. Not over yet, but they go in front 3-2. Weah dropping it back there for Garcia. Plays it to the outside, and the next pass knocked away, but a throw in for Hopkins.
Hopkins keeping the pressure on.
I was going to say, right now it feels like their train of thought is our best defense is to attack on offense, keep the ball down their end.
Absolutely. The other team can't score if they don't have possession of the ball.
Slammed ahead here. Hunwardson with the header. Trip called against the Trojans. It'll be a free kick for Hopkins. Lining it up here for the Royals, and they're in no hurry at this point, or should they be?
Yeah, they just have to eat up 4 minutes.
Long bouncer. Ooh, and Welshons has some trouble with it. And it's going to be a corner kick. It got away from him enough to get over the line. And so a corner coming up for the Royals. Might have had a little bit of spin on this one. It was kind of a short hopper and didn't quite get in the angle to smother it. So not only does this give him a corner kick, it obviously eats up some more of that clock as well for the Royals. That sequence worked out well for them.
Yeah, they've already eaten up almost 40 seconds.
They go short with it to Boubre. Trying to give it back to him was Weah. Now the Trojans send it ahead. Patrick Weah trapping it down. Battles through a defender or two. And knocked away, and we do get a foul call against Hopkins. Will be a free kick for Wayzata. Williams lining it up here for the Trojans. Under 3 minutes to go now in regulation. Chipping it to the front. Here's the header and a goal, and we're tied up. Gallinson.
Can you believe it?
Perfect pass by Williams, and Gallinson gets there for the header and goal, and it's 3-3. When I said next goal wins, I was wrong.
We were wrong. We were obviously wrong.
Strong header, and they did a nice job of waiting till just the right time to really come forward there, and Gallinson got free of the D. And here comes Clarence Weah trying to take the lead back. Collision, and let's see. Do we have a call? No. Looks like not. And now we're going to get a stoppage. And official coming over to the Hopkins bench.
It's telling they have to be on the other side of the yellow line. The referee now talking to the assistant referee. That's Todd Anderson. Center referee is Tris Huckham. Talking things over and make sure they get it right.
And a yellow card issued
on the bench. We had wanting to start a conversation with the center ref, and he has no intention of doing so. We're back to action. Weah heads it.
And it's going to bounce all the way to Eklund, and he'll grab that one up. Boy, the ball got from one end of the field to the other in a hurry there. Hopkins almost kind of still caught arguing about the previous call. Sane, and instead it's Comschley's flicking it ahead. Now Williams for Wayzata. Bounces around, Boubre lifting it ahead, looking for Clarence Weah. Gains control of it here. Knocked away before he could let that shot go. Triple team, tries to battle through him. And let's see, this will be an interesting call. Looks like it's going to be a foul on Wayzata. Sane pleading his case, but doesn't. It's a tough call because the offensive player is trying to just come through them too. And
yeah, he's pushing him. He's pushing him. Got in front of him and pushed him. Referee stopping the clock.
Wayzata have to move that wall back, so every opportunity like this is crucial at this point. But it's been an entertaining game. Some twists and turns yet to go here as Wayzata's tied it up late after Hopkins surged into the lead. Yeah, taking it. It skims off the crossbar. Wow, Welshon's really gambling by letting that ball go. He was confident it was going to go over the top.
And most keepers would at least put a paw up there and deflect it. Here, see it again. Yeah, wow, that was close.
Probably not a gamble worth taking. I mean, you don't want to knock the ball in or even a corner kick, but ooh, that was close. Royals have it knocked away here, and here comes Sane back the other way for Wayzata. Looking for Wagner, has Patrick Weah with him. Got it to him. Weah had it bounce off his foot, though, a little too far there offside anyway. So might have been their last big push in regulation, perhaps.
Clock running down. You see another player not down on the turf, but working on the toes. 30 seconds.
Gallinson gets up there to head it over to Galzarian. Now Patrick Weah waiting for it, taken away though nicely by Levesque. Levesque playing it ahead, looking for Bouberet, but Gallinson sending it for Weah.
Collides with the defender. It'll be a foul against Hopkins. With time running out, they just take the shot.
And that will be the end of regulation. Wayzata was wanting, saying they were too close on the, but
they were.
But he hadn't had time to move yet either. I mean, you kicked it right into him. What are you going to do?
Right.
So we do reach the end of regulation. Wow, it's been a great one. 3-3 our score. We'll be back with OT here on CCX Sports.
The color in my garden keeps the pink in my cheeks. I was very independent and thought I could take care of myself. I fell and I had to have Meals on Wheels. They're my savior. My name is Lola Silvestri. America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say hello. Volunteer by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
I adopted Bento in 2010 from a shelter. As it turns out, we have very similar personalities. And this cat makes me make art because he's always motivating me to take pictures of him, to draw pictures of him. He just is motivating artistically. It's just that simple. Well, he's my best friend, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
Welcome back here to Hopkins High School. It's been a wild one, 3-3. Wayzata and Hopkins heading to overtime. And to look at some of the things that went on in that second half, it was a crazy one. Here's Galzarian getting to it for Wayzata. Puts it out front here, and the defender may have knocked it in, or Sane may have. It was hard to tell for sure there. And Galzarian, we think maybe got that goal, but they were kind of discussing it right there. Look, anyway, they go ahead 2-1. Then a great effort by Coed of Hopkins. He plays that ball to himself, volleys it one more time. Now watch, he gets it right back, turns, and lets it rip, and scores it for the Royals. They were pumped up at that point. And then they go in front on this goal. Weah turning, gets a left-footed shot, rolling it just inside the goal post. And that one came with only a little more than 5 minutes ago. Looked like it could be the winner, but then off a free kick, Gallinson getting to it for the header on the bounce and in. Smith Williams the assist rather for Wayzata. That one came with Less than 3 minutes to play, and we end up going to overtime here now, tied up at 3.
Regardless of the outcome, you have to hand it to Hopkins. Really came in fired up for this game. When you consider that Wayzata's only given up 1 goal all season, and here Hopkins has 3 against them, pushing them to overtime.
And so into OT we go here. Sane getting control for the Trojans. Pass didn't quite make it to Patrick Weah there as Comsley's with the steal. Now over to Boubre. Levesque trying to play it out beyond the defender. It's going to be a throw for Hopkins. You kind of give some credit to it, I think, to both teams, that when the other team took the lead, they didn't panic and think, oh, that's it, we're packing it in, you know, it's over. They both have rallied back after being down by 1 in the second half. Out front it comes, and the header from Clarence Weah goes just wide, and looks like he's got more cramping issues.
Yeah, he's been having a tough time in the second half. Let's see, Wayzata player.
And Walter Smith helping out.
Good sportsmanship.
I thought he might go into a spinning toe hold there or something. Put the figure 4 leg lock on him, but it actually was just helping.
You know, I'm wondering if they may have to pull Weah out because he's having trouble staying in the game.
And as we've talked about in past years too, you know, those calf cramps can kind of come and go. You get it to the point where it feels pretty good again. You're running around, and all of a sudden it just comes back, and boy, it's painful, and it really just locks your calf up. Just the muscle seizes and can't release.
Yeah, and there's only so much you can do for that.
The trainer coming out, and you know, a lot of the people know the, you know, kind of ways to try and deal with it, but it's still, there's no magic button. I mean, you use sometimes a roller on it, you know, you put some ice on it, try to walk it off. All those things can help, but there is no surefire snap your fingers, here's how you do it.
There's no magic cure for that. You just have to work that muscle.
Speedy recovery to Clarence Weah.
So we will indeed come off the surface. I'm willing to bet he's going to come back in.
Yeah, the hope is too, though, that you know, that he doesn't run out of time.
And we're back.
Well, Sean's booting it ahead. Weah has 2 of the 3 Hopkins goals, so obviously a big difference maker for their team, and we'll hope that he's able to come back and maybe finish out the night here. Williams broke that one up, and now Patrick Weah trying to get to it. If you're just joining us, Patrick Weah of Wayzata was going to be held out tonight, but tie game late, they ended up using him. He's been banged up a little bit, and here he comes with the ball. And couldn't quite get through that last wave.
Yeah, that last wave was holding its position really well.
Sane. Now they play it back for Sane on the outside. Royals read that pretty well, though. It'll be a throw for Wayzata. Looks like Sane is nicked up a little bit now. So Drew Gallinson heading out to take this throw for the Trojans.
And I would expect it to be somewhere middle of the bunch. There it is, header.
And it pops free to the other side, and Garcia calmly clears it. Then Walter Smith sending it back out front. Eklund almost overran it, but he's able to control it.
I thought that was offside. Nope. Eklund a nice long punt.
Sane flicking it ahead. Gulzarian charges back to get it. Played it around the defender, but not able to keep it in play. So a throw, and then that actually a little collision. Paschke is hurt. He and Gulzarian, I think, hit knees or shin, you know, some
shin to shin.
Leg hit somewhere above that shin guard. And he quickly, the good news is it only happened a few feet from their bench. He was able to make it over there and hobble off. Things getting physical again here late, and then there's a big push delivered, kind of a double.
Referee telling him to just settle down.
Clarence Weah is back getting ready to check in. He can't right now, but the next opportunity he's going to try and do so. He's had leg cramps. He's not the only one, but the most noticeable that had to come out a couple times. Smith sending it ahead, flicked over, Patrick Weah. Pushing it ahead for Gulzarian. And it's a goal. Gulzarian will put Wayzata back in front, 4-3. So you see the pass, Patrick Weah sliding it ahead. The only question was he going to be onside? And it was. And Gulzarian, you see the Wayzata bench a little bit pleased with that one, as you might guess. You see the presence of Patrick Weah there too, I think, drawing a lot of defenders.
Yeah, that's what we were saying earlier. If nothing else, just his presence on the field can make any defense nervous. So not sure who the assist went to. I thought it was Weah.
Yeah. Definitely there. So 4-3 Wayzata lead, but we play on, of course. To the outside now, Kelly. Chipping it ahead, looking for Weah. Royals get to it. Half minute to go in this first OT, then we'll change ends and play 5 more minutes. So not panic time for Hopkins yet, but obviously a sense of urgency now, down 1.
Yeah, as I say, it ain't over yet.
Cleared into the bench by Gallinson. It's a throw here for Hopkins.
Hopkins showing some urgency. They want to get that equalizer before this first period ends.
Gallinson the header, then it deflects way out wide. They're going to run out of time here in this first overtime session, so we will change ends and then begin immediately. As you get another look at the goal that put Wayzata back in front. Weah controlling, fighting off a defender, just pushes that ball through. Gulzarian gets there first. Eklund came out to try and meet it, but couldn't quite get there.
He's kind of rolled it over the keeper. 4-3.
And Boubre talking to the referee, who didn't want to hear any more of it.
Yeah, and Colette wisely convinces him to back off on that little endeavor. Boy, what a game. So now we know how Hopkins got into a 5-5 tie.
Here's Patrick Weah sending it for Wagner. Ooh, a good recovery there by the Royals. Comschles. And then this one sent way up high and wide. Goal kick coming here for Hopkins. both teams have shown an ability to, to generate something pretty quick. It doesn't necessarily have to be a long, sustained attack. So, it's,
we kind of gave up on the long attack some time ago. Now let's get the ball in and go after it.
Wagner's pass a little behind Weah, and he slipped. Wagner coming back to meet it. And Coet sending it ahead to Clarence Weah. Now Coet gets back up right onto the foot of Clarence. And down he goes, and we will have a foul called. Williams caution, but not a yellow card there. It'll be a free kick for the Royals. Weah putting it back in play.
Trying to catch the Trojan defense off guard, but they were waiting for him. Battle for the ball. It'll be a throw-in for Wayzata.
Going to be a free kick, it looks like.
Yeah, you're right. Wayzata absolutely in no hurry. Trying to hang on to this 1-goal lead.
Sane, and now they stopped the clock, I think, because he was in no hurry.
Yeah, that's the prerogative for the referee. And I think he's concerned about Clarence Weah.
Well, the clock never stopped. They're not watching. He signaled stop quite some time ago.
Referee now checking with the head coach, saying you should probably pull him off the field. We can't be stopping the game every time he goes down. And what Clarence is in a lot of pain.
Yeah, it's a tough spot. I mean, nobody wants to have cramps, and you see it.
No.
It isn't terribly uncommon, particularly in these early season games. Be interesting to know if they put time back on the clock, because there should be probably a good 20 seconds or so added, but I don't know if they'll do it or not.
Highly unlikely.
Chip to the front here, and the Royals headed out of play. It will be a corner kick for Wayzata.
Good look at number 17, Sane. As we said, we didn't expect him to play the entire game, but he has played most of the game and the 2 overtime periods. Now I'm guessing he's going to be the corner kick person. Looks like Waze is going to tap it in and then get it back, or yep. Oh wow, that's
and looks
a takedown.
Like going to be called against Hopkins, although Sane was trying to draw it too. It was maybe not as clear cut as what it would look like just at a quick glance, but Sane's going to line it up again here. He's saying the player's too close to him. The referee says no, come forward, kick it.
And he gets it way over the goal area, under 2 minutes. And the way Hopkins can move the ball,
Lifted long here. Of course, Weah is out again with those cramps, though. They're a main weapon for them. Lifted up the line here and headed out of play by Salargo. So a throw in for Wayzata.
We can see Weah on the sideline trying to desperately to get that muscle under control so he can get back in the game. And he's still hobbling.
Sane will boot this one ahead. Smith with the header, and then Sane lifting it up for Wagner. Wagner racing after it and got it a little bit too much out far in front of himself, and Eklund able to race out and grab it here for the Royals. Under a minute to go now in this second OT. Wayzata leading it 4-3. What a barn burner of a game we've had here tonight.
Neither team backing off anything.
And it will roll out of play, so a throw coming for Wayzata. Looking to Sane, and he will lift it high in the air here. Gulzarian trying to run it down. Hopkins clears it out, and it'll be a throw-in, and that might eat up most of the remaining time here. So Gulzarian looking to trigger it in, and does so there to Sonstagard, and back for Gulzarian. Doubled up in the corner, and going to be a throw, and that should about do it.
Boy, what a game.
Yeah, Wayzata will end up getting the victory. They stay undefeated, but barely, as they pick up a 4-3 win over Hopkins. A tremendous game back and forth. Wayzata took a lead in the second half, then Hopkins scored 2 in a row and ended up going ahead very late in regulation, but Trojans able to tie it up, and then they get the only goal of the overtime session, and they pick up a 4-3 win. And let's hope the girls' game is just as good. Say, this was fantastic.
This is just a warm-up, right?
Got more good soccer coming up next week as well. Maple Grove Centennial boys and girls for you on CCX Sports. Your final tonight: Wayzata 4, Hopkins 3. Good night from Hopkins High School.